Hello again, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of people in the news in North Texas. My guest today is Jim Johnson, a candidate for the Republican nomination for Judge of the 431st District Court in Denton County in the March 2020 primary. Thank you for being here, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
If you would, please begin by telling our viewers something about your background.
Okay, my name's Jim Johnson. I live here in Denton County where I've been a homeowner for 27 years. I was born and grew up in Fort Worth, where I was in a big family, 6 children. My father worked as a butcher at the local grocery store by day and a U.S. mail sorter by night. My mother worked in our local elementary school, washing dishes. We had a lot of mouths to feed. We attended University Baptist Church, and I became Eagle Scout. My first job, in fact, at age 14 was at the Scout Ranch in Bridgeport. Then I moved on to a higher paying job at a furniture factory and earned money to attend college at the University of Texas.
All right, how about, have you ever run for political office before?
Never.
No. How do you like it so far?
It's great. We're enjoying the process. My wife Pam attends all the events with me, and it's so far been a wonderful experience. It's a positive campaign, and I expect it'll stay that way.
Well, it's been a wonderful experience.
Yes.
But it's early yet.
It is early.
I say that as someone who has run a couple of times myself. Running for office can be really difficult. Jim, why do you want to be a judge?
Well, it's always been my dream to be a jury trial attorney, and that's what I've done for the past 10 years after I graduated law school at Texas Wesleyan. I found that I don't get in the courtroom as much as I would like. I do a couple of jury trials per year, and I've done trials in family, criminal, and business, but I love the courtroom environment, and I think the combination of my experience and judgment will work well in this court.
And what are the qualifications of a district court judge?
Well, you have to be a licensed attorney, and beyond that, 4 years of law practice here in the county, over the age 25, under the age 74, but beyond that, the real qualification is to have an even judicial temperament and have the knowledge needed to apply the law and give a fair hearing to everyone that comes to you.
Well, and what is the schedule like for a district court judge? Just give us is it a 9 to 5 job, or is it weekends off?
It won't be 9 to 5 with me. A judge has a lot of discretion, and we hear a lot about dockets being crowded and busy. I'm a hard worker. Some people call me a workaholic. It's been my nature. And I plan to be on the bench at 8 a.m. I plan to work the full day. I plan to incorporate efficiencies and be a lawyer's attorney to help them move their cases along.
How many district courts are there?
We have 9 in Denton County, 6. 3 of them don't handle criminal cases, 6 do. And this is one of those 6 that's a general jurisdiction court.
And they're all located in Denton in the courthouse.
Yes.
Right? And how long is the term of office?
4 years.
And you mentioned some of the cases handled by district courts. Is it mainly felonies?
Yes, the district courts that handle, the 6 that handle criminal law cases, handle criminal felonies, severe injuries caused by persons, but also handle family law, divorce, and also complex business cases.
And is there a judicial philosophy, for example, for a judge, a person who becomes a judge? Do you have a judicial philosophy?
I do. I'm a strict constructionist. I think that anyone that would truly call themselves a conservative Republican is a strict constructionist, or should be. And what that means is just that the law means what it says. So, for example, there's been this drumbeat on the Second Amendment. But the Second Amendment means that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's what it says, and that's what it means. And a strict constructionist doesn't try to go beyond that to say, how can we take guns away, or how can we say this is only for militia, or those sorts of things. You need to know the law and apply the law.
And I suppose judges all have discretion when they make judgments, that's what it's all about. That's what they have their, if they have their own judicial philosophy, that can enter into their decision making, I suppose.
It does, and it's inescapable actually, and that's part of why I favor partisan elections. I think the voters need to know where judges are coming from. And if you look at cases, for example, the arms case that upheld the Second Amendment, District of Columbia versus Dick Heller, it was a 5-4 decision, narrowly preserving our right to keep and bear arms. And those 4 would be people that you would say had Democratic Party leanings, and the 5 were Republicans.
Yeah, so they're not what we call strict constructionists.
No,
they
no.
are interpretive. They're interpreting their way, I suppose.
Right, and that's where you get into trouble and unpredictability, inconsistent results, and reversals if you don't follow the law.
Do you think the Constitution is adequate to continue this great republic? I mean, we have people attacking it all the time.
It is under siege, but absolutely. I love the United States Constitution. It works if we'll read it and adhere to it.
How about when a decision by a district court is appealed? How does a person appeal a decision?
Well, the first stop is usually in Fort Worth, always for civil, and for most criminal. Some cases, such as if Daniel Greco, which was the death penalty case that was heard in this case and consumed in this court and consumed almost the whole month of September for the court, if death would have been assessed, that would not be appealed to Fort Worth. It would be appealed directly to the Court of Criminal Appeals in Austin. But those are the 2 places that the Denton County courts could be appealed to.
And a person or an attorney can prepare an appeal. It doesn't mean the court will grant it.
That's exactly right. The court will look at it, and if there was an abuse of discretion or misapplication of the law, either in procedure or substantive law, it could be reversed, and then it could be reversed and remanded for a new trial, or it could be reversed and rendered where the Court of Appeal says this is the answer that should have been given.
Now, the person who is the judge in this district court right now, Judge Bailey,
Yes.
Does he handle the felony family violence court?
He does. This court has been given preference for felony family violence cases, and sadly we have so many of those coming up where these are severe bodily injuries happening from a dating relationship or strangulation and those sorts of things, and we need a judge that's able to handle not only civil procedure family but also criminal procedure to be sure these cases get handled properly.
All right, and it's important to mention that Judge Bailey is not running for re-election, and so you're running for an open seat, and you and other candidates are running for that seat.
That's right.
So Jim, what type of campaigning will you be doing?
We'll be doing all traditional campaigning, but getting out to all the Republican club meetings, earning endorsements of elected officials and prominent people, and then extensive mail and poll working.
All right, and we are soon being grabbed by the clock, so let me just mention that your campaign website is www.justiceplace.com. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
I would just mention that I'm a Republican Party activist. I've been a delegate to the last 3 conventions of the Republican Party, and I serve as an officer, Vice Chair of Finance for the party. This position needs a qualified conservative Republican, and that's what I'm running on.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Jim, for being here, and good luck in the election.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, and thank you for watching.